Right, Shalom, and sure I want to start off source by giving all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, double honor, supposed to GMS, and honors to brothers that are doing the work in truth, with sincerity. I had watched the Apostle Tah's video on the 4th of September, Job 42 verse 17 explained, or rather, I downloaded it and listened to it while I was at work. Right, the Spirit had me cook on it again today. I wanted to do a real quick response to that. Because when the apostle was going through Job 1, and this word hit upright, it was like, Habakkuk 2 and 4 is a straight cut for that. So this is Job. So basically, the video you had when Geezer trying to say that Job, basically, according to the Septuagint, has a summary of Job 42, basically trying to say that Job was an Edomite, which is not the case, right? You usually hear that, people call Cornelius an Edomite. Right, but what you understand is salvation is only for the Jews, for Israel, right? Because Jews only a subset of Israel. Jews, is talking about the tribe of Judah, or when grouped, the southern kingdom, i.e., Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Right, it says Job 1:1 says there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright. So immediately you think upright. Habakkuk 2 and 4 says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. This is referencing Esau. So if Job's an Edomite, then his soul is not upright. Right. And it says in that man, one that feared the Most High and eschewed evil. So like I said, these scriptures usually apply to Cornelius, but you can bring them in here. Anytime you try to say someone in the scriptures is an Edomite, someone who prayed to the Most High, is basically can be saved. They're an Israelite. There's no heathen can be saved. So it's Psalms 10 and 4 says, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not the Most High is not in all his thoughts. Right, but then you read over here in verse verse 5, right? It's basically saying that Job was offering burnt offerings continually. Right, thinking, oh man, my sons may have sinned, this, that, and the other. Right, it says Proverbs 28 and 9 says, he that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Right, so the law was only given to Israel anyway. Right, so if you've got an Israelite who isn't following the law, his prayer is an abomination. Right, so how much more he? Right. This is Daniel 12 and 10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. So the wicked, primarily when you see wicked, it's usually referencing Esau. Right? It says the wicked shall not understand. Right? These heathens aren't gonna get this truth. They ain't gonna, understand. It says Sirach 39 and 24 says, and his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Right, because Job would, when you read Job 30, for instance, he's cursing out bestiality, but that's one of the natures of these Edomites, man. I remember years ago, I remember watching vids. Apostles like, these Edomites be hella into that bestiality. People always say, make sure you check your stuff out for yourself. So I went on the Google, I typed it in, and all you saw was Edomites, man. I typed it in so that you don't have to, Right, so Job was actually cursing that out, but that's one of them things that, Esau's freaky like that, man. Right, it says, verse 31. In fact, while we're here, it says Job 30 and 30. 30 and 30 says, my skin is black upon me, my bones are burned with heat. Right, and I'll just leave that there. It says John 9 and 31 says, now we know that the Most High heareth not sinners. Right, so if Job is praying, and the Most High is hearing him, then obviously, he's a man of the Lord for one. And what did I say before? The laws only applied to Israel. Right, so how much more a heathen? If heathen sending out prayers, what good is that to him? In fact, the Lord said in Psalm 15:16, "But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" Right, so basically the Lord saying, yo, I don't even want you to have my, who are you to declare my statutes? What you got to do? They've got nothing to do with you. So like how you you be just doing what you're doing, you and the Archeum, whatever, and then some random stain just tries pop in, and you're like, look, what you doing, man? Can't you see we're doing stuff here, man? Go away. Right, it's this Ecclesiastes 12:12 says, "And further by these, my son, be admonished of making many books, there is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh." Right, so the Septuagint, that's another book, and until you are grounded in these scriptures, there's no point you delving into these other things. Right, you have the parable, of of the man who built his house. In fact, you got several. You got the one about the what the weed that fell on the stony ground, the good ground and the weeds, right? And that's basically talking about having a good foundation. If you ain't got a good foundation, then you're easy to be knocked over, man. You're easy to be drowned and suffocated. Which is why so basically don't even be going into all of these other things until you're good with these, until you can filter things through the scriptures, right? Because even certain deep things of the scriptures aren't really to be touched straight away, right? So Corinthians 3. Right, this is 1 Corinthians 3 from the top. Says, "And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua." So you first coming into these things, you don't really understand the spiritual aspects of things. You may grasp it as a concept, right, but you don't really understand it. Right, so only when you've been in this thing for a while, you truly understand it, and you can, because ultimately it's experiences, right? This is verse 2. It says, "I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able." Right, so basically saying, look, man, you can't chew on the deep stuff yet. Therefore, until you get it, just I'm gonna give you some milk. So if you're going into these other philosophies, other things, and you don't know how to break them down, you'll choke, just as if you was to give a baby meat. That baby can't chew meat, it will choke on it. Which is why, like I said, Paul made this analogy here. Right? Where was I? So yeah, really and truly, until you're grounded and can truly filter things through the scriptures, then there's really no point you going into these other books. That's Revelations 22:18 says, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book." Right, so you basically got these that summary, which is adding onto the scriptures, because it's trying to say that Job's and Edom and trying to reference different people, this, that, and the other, but it's not true. It's not a part of the scriptures. They're going off. They're going hella off. I'll just come to my closing scripture, and that's 1 Peter 3:15. But it says, "But sanctify the Lord power in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is within you, that is in you, with meekness and fear." Right, so I'm only going by the title of the video, which was something like let me jump to it, see what it is. It says, "A white man humbles IUIC." Right, I'm not gonna go for much IUIC videos. I've not been gifted that much time. So I've only really got time to watch good knowledge, to drink, the good water, the flowing water, the living waters, right? None of this toxic water that IUIC be spewing. But it's good, if you can go through there, and then it's good to sharpen your sword, because you can see where they're going off, You know, and you can be like, nah, they went off on this because when you read this scripture, so it's all good. But like I said, you know, I just ain't really got time to be, you know, watching them like that. But, you know, from the title, what I'm assuming is that they have basically been cut by a guy who doesn't really know the scriptures, which is why it's good. You know, Apostle Paul kept referencing this scripture in 2 Timothy 2:15, says, study to show thyself approved. Basically, you got to study so that this doesn't happen to you. You know, what I'm assuming is they basically got what do you call it? They got cut by someone who ain't that deep. That shouldn't be happening, man. You should be going into these scriptures. You should be studying, and you should basically be, you know, be going in so that someone comes up to you spewing madness. You know, you what do you call it? You can cut it real quick. Like for instance, that bit where it's talking about how he has what does it say? It says, and he begot a son whose name was Enon, a son. But you know, you jump to Job 1, you can find out he has many sons, and you read other scriptures, and you know other scriptures, and you know Matthew 1:21. You know all of the who is salvation for. You know all of those scriptures, and then you can just cut it. But if you don't know, then you'll get cut and you'll be confounded. Right? There's also a thing of the spirit as well. You know, you always gotta, you know, pray, say, hey Lord, you know, make sure, you know, we don't get confounded, you know, or when you're out there, right? But yeah, you know, this is just wanted to jump on that real quick. Lord, will you been edified? Lord, will I'm not rambled on too much, and yeah, shalom.